Hello and welcome to 5-Year Club video number 259. Tonight we have an article from CNBC. Average FICO credit score hits all-time high. Americans have good credit ratings. For the first time, the average national FICO score has reached 704. Credit scores on average have been steadily rising since the Great Recession. Credit scores on the rise thanks to changes at credit agencies. Wait, what? What kind of changes? Well, let's see what the article says. When it comes to credit, Americans are scoring well. For the first time, the average national credit score has reached 704, according to FICO, developer of one of the most commonly used scores by lenders. FICO scores range from 300 to 850. Your credit score plays a big role in daily life. Not for me. It can determine the interest rate on a consumer is going to pay for credit cards, car loans, and mortgages, or whether they will get a loan at all. Average credit scores most recently bottomed at 686 during the housing crisis about a decade ago, when there was a sharp increase in foreclosures. They have since steadily ticked higher, according to Ethan Dornhelm, Vice President for Scores and Analytics at FICO. New scores are at an all-time high. A score of 704 is considered solidly good, Dornhelm said. Consumers will be qualifying for most credit that they are hoping to get. A good score generally is above 700, and those over 760 are considered excellent. Most people understand their credit behaviors and scores, and they are checking their credit scores more often, Dornhelm says. That understanding and awareness helps you manage and maintain good credit. New standards for public records, which stripped all civil judgments and tax liens from credit reports, also played a role in driving the overall average higher. Okay, so that's kind of a fake thing, really. So, if you change kind of the way the underlying score is calculated and then the score goes higher, then that's not people having better credit. That's just you changing the underlying algorithm. And certainly stripping out civil judgments and tax liens is changing the score. On the other hand, credit card balances and delinquencies are steadily creeping up as well. As we've gotten further from the Great Recession, lenders are increasingly competing for new card volume, and part of that is loosening their underwriting criteria in order to be more competitive. All right, so this is like Americans' credit scores are going up, but that's because lenders are increasingly competing for new card volume, and part of that is loosening their underwriting criteria. They're giving out credit scores like candy right now. As the number of credit card accounts in the U.S. rises, the majority of new customers are subprime borrowers, generally meaning those with a credit score of 660 or below. Oh, wow. I'm subprime now, y'all. Yeah. At least the last reported score for me, I think, is around 646, 649, depending upon which agency you go to. And I've got 0 delinquencies, but I've also got 0 credit accounts. So there you go. How to boost your credit score. Why does your score matter? Your credit score is a 3-digit number that lenders and other parties use to assess how much of a credit risk you are. Your score is based on information in your credit report. You don't have just one score. The number varies based on criteria like issuer, big names include FICO and VantageScore, software version, and lender customizations. Your score also changes over time. Make payments on time. Don't max out your cards. Pay down debt. So I've done this. I've always made my payments on time. I got 0 delinquent or late payments on my credit report. Don't max out my cards. Don't have any cards, so I'm nowhere near the max. Pay down debt. Don't have any debt at all. Regularly check your credit reports. I do that. And somehow I still have a subprime score. So this article's a bunch of bullshit. And it'll be interesting in the next crash if FICO, or I guess the lenders, maybe it's not FICO, but it's the underlying lenders and their underwriting standards for consumer credit, how is this going to be viewed in the next crash? I think it was AIG was giving out insurance way too easily on a lot of things. And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they also were giving out too much money and not doing enough due diligence. I guess Freddie Mac is the housing one. Not sure. I think Fannie Mae is that student loans? Freddie Mac. Home ownership possible. Yeah, it's Freddie Mac. Yeah, you really look like an asshole when a recession hits and there's a financial crash and your underwriting standards were low. But here we can see that the average credit score is creeping up specifically because underwriting standards are going down. Now, you could definitely argue, but the economy is doing well, Lewis. People are making a lot of money. People are making those payments. People are the average income, real income, is going up, and those things are all true. But the average debt is going up faster than the average income, and that debt is going to stick around. The income may not. When a recession happens, you may lose your job. Your income may go away. The debt is not going to magically go away. It's still going to be there, unless there's a ton of inflation, and then you're screwed by the inflation. So it doesn't really matter. Anyway, interesting article, something for us to keep our eye on as one of the kind of factors at play here. I read another article recently. It was pointing out, it was from the New York Times. It was pointing out how student loan debt had doubled in the last 10 years. And then, of course, there are the articles that you see where they're talking about car loans being extended to 6 or 7 years. All that stuff is going to stick with you for a long time. So avoid it. Don't take out the debt. Do not take out the debt. Sell what you need to sell to get rid of the debt. Save up money. Have a game plan for it. Transfer that money out of your bank account as soon as you get paid, as soon as you get a paycheck. And if you just keep doing that, yes, you have to sacrifice paycheck after paycheck. You have to take that money out of your account and not spend it on things. But after a year of doing that, after 2 years of doing that, you're going to be in an amazing financial position. And it feels really good. It feels very protected, which is awesome. Okay, that is it for 5 Year Club video number 259. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fabulous evening.